All right, everybody, welcome back to the #1 television program in the history of the entire universe. I am Brian Lee Durfee, author of The Forgetting Moon, The Blackest Heart, and The Lonesome Crown, all three books published by Simon & Schuster's Saga Press. Today I'm going to be reviewing Magician's Gambit by David Eddings. This is book 3 in the Belgariad series of 5 books. And in fact, I've got all of my David Eddings books up here. Right above the, that's them right there. There's a whole bunch. I got the Belgariad series, and several others here. The Sparehawk series, there's a bunch of series I got. But anyway, we're doing the Belgariad read through. So now I've reviewed the first 2 books in the series. So if you'd prefer to watch those reviews before you watch this one, all you need to do is type in my last name, Durfee, into your YouTube search bar. Type in David Eddings' name into the YouTube search bar, and through some sort of pagan sorcery, that YouTube video will magically appear upon your television screen. Okay, but let's get to book number 3. Came out in 1983. Now, the David Eddings books are books that I adored and cherished as a kid, along with my Dragonlance novels, my Raymond Feist novels, my Terry Brooks Shannara novels. Back in the day, those 4 authors were kind of like superstars in the fantasy book world. I mean, they were like the Brandon Sandersons and George R.R. Martins of the time, of the 80s. Everybody was reading these. And these books meant a lot to me. They still do. I still think that they are absolutely wonderfully written with wonderful characters. They're just charming little fantasy novels. They hold a special place in my heart from my youth, like Dragonlance did and like the Shannara books did. But anyway, let's talk about this book, Magician's Gambit. The cover, the cover is done. Each one of the covers were done. And these are the original books that I bought when I was a kid. I still have them. They were done by an artist by Lawrence Schwinger. That is the cover artist of all of the original 5 Belgariad books. Now there's also maps in here. I love maps. As much as I love color illustrated covers, I love maps too. There's maps. There's several. There's a whole bunch of them. But anyway, this opens up. Now, there's a prologue in here also. There's a prologue in all of these books. I never read the prologues. They're about 5 pages each. To me, the prologues in this... Normally, prologues don't bother me. I'm fine with it. The prologues in these books are just gobbledygook. I don't know what... because I never read them. I tried to read them when I was a kid, and they turned me off. And so I've never read them as an adult. I've probably reread this series about 5 times. This is about the 6th time I've reread it. But I always skip the prologues. I do not give a... Whatever's in those prologues could be just whatever. I don't care. Anyway, but this book opens with Sinedra, a character from our first 2 books. She's a feisty and bratty princess from the house of Baroon. I can't know how to pronounce any of this stuff. She's the bratty princess from the house of Baroon in the kingdom of Tolnedra. And she is on this quest with these characters. And the characters, it's a list of cool characters. All the characters are so well drawn. But there's Garian, the main character, the young farm boy with a destiny. Then there's the sorcerer, what the fuck was the sorcerer's name? Belgarath. And then there's the sorceress, Polgara. And then there's Silk the thief. There's the knight, Mandaralan. There's the other knight, Beric. There's the other knight, Hetar. And there's Durnick, the farmhand, and I think I'm probably missing somebody. But anyway, there's a whole bunch of people on this quest that she's been on for the last 2 books. But she's kind of figuring out slowly in the beginning of this book that the sorcerer and sorceress, Belgarath and Polgara, might be more than... They might be like these ancient 2,000-year-old legendary people. And she's just starting to put this together. She's also starting to find out that Garion, the main character, the young farm boy, might be more than he seems too. Like, there's something a little off about this kid. She's definitely interested in him. She flirts with him. He doesn't understand what flirting is. Their relationship is very juvenile, and they don't understand each other. And it's very reminiscent of the relationship that from the Lloyd and Alexander Prydain Chronicles between Turan and the hell was that red-haired girl's name? Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. Elenwy, Turan and Elenwy. They were in a goofy little junior high school romance, and they couldn't figure each other out. That's Garion and Sinedra in this. They just can't figure each other out. She flirts with him. He doesn't respond to the flirting in any way that anybody would. I mean, he does it as clueless. And then he's a little bit stubborn himself, and he doesn't like that she's a brat. Now, the quest basically is, most people believe in the realm that there's an orb that has protected the world from the evil god Torok, and most think that some people think this is just a silly legend, other people believe in it. And but what if we find the orb, and then what type of fools would even search for it to find it? Well, we know who the fools are, and it's all the people in this book that I just mentioned. It's an artifact. It's silly for them. And Sinedra is on the camp of, it's silly to search for this thing because it doesn't exist. It's just a fairy tale. Anyway, but they go out on the quest, of course, that's lasted now 3 books. And she's growing ever more frustrated with Garion, the young farm boy who's sort of the central focus of this book, because Garion is starting to show that he's got magical powers. And this is freaking everybody out. But, you know, of course, the sorcerer and sorceress, they know what's up. Everybody else is kind of like, what's going on? So they're questing. In this book, they're searching for a mysterious tower, a strange tower in the center of the evilest realm that they could wander into. And once they get to this mysterious tower, it's kind of known that the farm boy Garion with the magic powers is going to have to face off against some horrible magic user of, unimaginable powers. And Sinedra is kind of cluing in on this is what the quest is too. And she's just like, well, I don't want to see my crush, Garion, the little boy that I'm flirting with, die. I don't want to see that. And she's like, I don't want to die either, because the quest has been very dangerous so far that I've been dragged along on, and I don't want to die either. And that's kind of like the gist of the story, and it's just fun to read. It's a fun read to see all the different characters do all their little different adventures, have all their different, little personalities, and it's just a charming fantasy series. And I give book number 3 of the Magician's Gambit, book number 3 of the Belgariad, a solid 9 out of 10. Still comes up across as a solid, well-written book to me, and a book that I look upon with great fondness from my youth.